The air is thick, not just with humidity, but with the deafening thunder of rotor blades. Below us, a sea of emerald green, a jungle so dense it feels like it could swallow you whole. This isn't a movie. This isn't a history book. This is Project Reality, and 100 players are about to relive one of history's most brutal conflicts. Our mission sounds simple, but down there, it's anything but. We have to survive in a war where the enemy is a ghost, the jungle is a nightmare, and the only thing keeping you alive is the voice of the guy next to you. This is a world where teamwork isn't just a feature. It's the only law that matters. Welcome to the digital ghost of the Vietnam War. Project Reality isn't just another game. It's a sprawling, community-driven effort to simulate the harsh reality of combat, so you can forget everything you know about casual shooters. There are no regenerating health bars, no kill streak rewards, and definitely no map lighting up with enemy positions. The game strips all that away, leaving you with nothing but your squad, your rifle, and the pounding of your own heart. It's built on a foundation of realism, from how bullets drop over a distance to the need for logistics and player-built defenses. Today, we're dropping in with a 9-man squad from the United States Army. There are 100 players on this, server 50 on our side, and 50 fighting for the North Vietnamese Army. We're deploying into a map modeled after the infamous Ia Drang Valley, the site of the first major battle between the US and the NVA. It was a fight that set the tone for the rest of the war, a brutal clash of conventional force and guerrilla tactics. Our mission is to advance and secure a series of control points, pushing the NVA back and grabbing a foothold deep in their territory. Our first objective is a small village, codenamed Firebase Charlie. The briefing was short. The chopper ride is tense, and the mission has already begun. The second our Huey's skids hit the ground, the world just erupts. The controlled chaos inside the chopper gives way to the pure, uncontrolled chaos of the jungle. Go, go, go. Out of the bird, find your sectors. 270 to 90. Watch our flank. The voice of our squad leader, a player named Sarge, cuts right through the rotor wash. He isn't screaming. His tone is firm, urgent. It's the voice of someone who's done this 1,000 times that we pour out into the knee-high grass. 9 of us forming a loose circle around the chopper as it lifts off. The sound fades, and it's replaced by this unnerving quiet. The jungle's never really silent, though. It's a mix of insects, strange bird calls, and the rustle of leaves that could be the wind or something else. Every sound feels like a threat. Here, the environment itself is trying to kill you. All right, Alpha 6. This is 2-9er. LZ is green. We are moving to waypoint 1. How copy? Sarge is on the command radio, talking to the other squad leaders and the overall commander. While we're all focused on our little patch of jungle, he's painting the big picture for our whole team and getting intel back that could save our lives. Solid copy, 2-9er. Watch your step. Charlie 4 reported booby traps in that sector on the last push. Over. Sarge clicks off and switches back to our squad. You heard the man. Eyes on the ground. Point man. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Don't rush it. Everyone else, 5-meter spacing. I don't want one grenade taking out half the squad. This is what the game is all about. It's not running and gunning. It's slow, careful movement. Our point man, Rook, takes the lead. His job is probably the most stressful. He's the first one to walk into an ambush. He moves slow, rifle up, scanning everything. We follow in a staggered line, each guy watching a different direction. My eyes are glued to the right, just watching that wall of green for any flicker of movement. Any shape that looks out of place. The world feels incredibly real. Light filters through the canopy in shifting patterns, making it hard to see. You can almost feel the humidity. You get why they called it the green hell. There's so much cover for the enemy. An entire squad could be 10 feet away and you'd never see them until the muzzle flashes give them away. Hold up, Rook's voice is a tense whisper over the radio. The whole line just freezes. Every one of us drops to a knee, rifle ready. My heart rate kicks up. This is the rhythm of Project Reality. Long stretches of unbearable tension, broken by moments of pure terror. What do you see, Rook? Sarge asks, his voice steady. Trail. Looks fresh. And ... A piece of sea ration tin. Not ours. It's a tiny clue. But it's enough. They're here. They've been through here recently. The jungle suddenly feels a lot smaller. Sarge gets on the command radio again. Alpha 629er. We have signs of recent enemy activity at grid square 079er 452. Be advised, they could be setting up an ambush between us and the objective. This is the information war. A single piece of intel passed up the chain can change everything. A squad that spots a machine gun and keeps it to themselves might last a few more minutes, but a squad that reports, it saves the 30 guys coming up behind them. We keep moving, but the mood has changed. The pace is even slower now. That 5-meter spacing feels like a mile. You feel totally alone, but at the same time completely dependent on the 8 other guys in your squad. You just have to trust that the man behind you is watching your 6. Just like the man in front is trusting you. Suddenly, gunfire erupts to our north. Not the sharp crack of our M16s, but the deeper bark of AK-47s, answered by the heavy thud of an American M60. That's Charlie Squad, someone mutters. Sarge is already on it. All stations, this is 29er. We hear shots fired north of our position. Sounds like Charlie is in contact. What's their status, Alpha 6? The reply from the commander is grim. Charlie 3 walked into an L-shaped ambush. They're pinned down, taking casualties. The invisible chessboard is starting to take shape. We can't see the fight, but we can hear it. And through the command channel, we understand it. The enemy is smart. They've pinned one squad down, and now they'll try to flank them or just bleed them dry. 29er, I need you to alter course, the commander's voice crackles. Proceed to waypoint. 1 Bravo. Get on that ridgeline and see if you can provide flanking fire on the enemy position. Relieve the pressure on Charlie. Our mission just changed. We're not just on patrol anymore. We're the cavalry. The cautious pace is gone, replaced by a sense of urgency. We start moving with controlled speed up a muddy slope, overlooking the fight. Every step feels heavy. Your character has a stamina bar, and as you run, you get tired. Your breathing gets heavy, your vision sways. You can't just sprint everywhere. Every action has a cost dot. As we get near the top of the ridge, Sarge gives the order. All right, get down. Crawl the last few feet. I don't want any heads silhouetted against the sky. We drop to our bellies, inching forward, pushing our rifles ahead of us. Peering through the leaves, we finally see it. Below us, maybe 200 meters away, is total chaos. Green tracers from NVA machine guns are stitching lines across a clearing where the last few guys from Charlie Squad are pinned behind fallen trees. We can see the muzzle flashes from at least 2, maybe 3 enemy guns. They have Charlie Squad dead to rights. They can't move, can't retreat. They're being picked apart. Jesus, our medic, Doc, breathes into the radio. They're getting torn apart. Not for long, Sarge says, his voice a low growl. Machine gunner, you see that gun on the far left in that thicket of bamboo? I see it, Sarge. Put it out of business. Grenadier, you see the one in the middle? Walk your rounds onto it. Everyone else, pick your targets and wait for my command. We are going to light them up like the 4th of July. My heart is pounding. This is it. The quiet part is over. I find a target, a single soldier firing from behind a rock. I center my sights, my finger resting on the mouse. The tension is just unbearable. We're the ghost in the trees, and we're about to start hunting. Engage, engage, engage. Sarge's command unleashes hell. Our M60 opens up with its terrifying roar, a stream of red tracers smashing into the bamboo. At the same time, the thump of our Grenadier's M79 sends a 40mm explosive round, arcing through the air, landing with a satisfying crunch right in the middle of the second enemy gun. The effect is instant. The enemy, who thought they had complete control, is suddenly getting hammered from an angle they never saw coming. Their fire on Charlie's squad falters. They're panicked. This is the kind of battlefield reversal tactical shooters live for. Keep firing, Sarge yells. Don't let them recover. Pour it on. My own M16 bucks against my shoulder as I send a 3-round burst at my target. The first shot kicks up dirt, but the next 2 hit. The digital figure slumps over. There's no hit marker, no points flashing on the screen. The only confirmation is seeing an enemy fall and knowing there's one less rifle shooting at your friends. It forces you to actually watch and confirm your kills. The valley turns into a storm of noise and light. The air is thick with the crack of rifles, the thud of grenades, and the screams of guys on both sides shouting into their mics. Reloading. Our machine gunner calls out. That call is critical. For a few seconds, our biggest gun is silent. The rest of us have to pick up the slack, firing faster to keep the enemy's heads down while he feeds a new belt of ammo into his weapon. Being under fire in this game is no joke. It actually blurs your screen and makes your aim shaky, simulating the stress of being shot at. They're shifting fire to us. Someone shouts. Green tracers, the signature of the NVA's AK-47s, start, zipping past our ridgeline. The crack of a bullet going past your ear is one of the most terrifying sounds in the game. It makes you want to dig a hole with your face. Medic, I'm hit. I'm hit. It's Rook, our point man. I glance over and see him on the ground. A small white cross icon over his body. He's not dead, but he's down. Doc, get to Rook. 2 of you, cover the medic. Sarge orders, his voice never losing its cool. This is where the medic becomes the most important guy in the squad. You can't just shrug off a bullet. A bandage can stop the bleeding, but to get a guy back up and fighting, you need a medic with their special kit. 2 riflemen immediately start firing controlled bursts toward the enemy, creating a wall of lead to protect Doc as he crawls over to Rook. Hang on, Rook, I'm coming. Doc says, a mix of roleplay and genuine focus. Reaches him, and we hear the sounds of him working. Okay, he's bandaged. Getting him up? He's up. He's back in the fight. It's a small victory, but a crucial one. Every rifle counts. Down in the valley, Charlie's squad has used the opening we gave them. With the pressure off, they're moving, flanking the disorganized enemy. We hear their squad leader on the command channel. Thanks for the assist, 2-9er. We're pushing through them, but the NVA aren't giving up that easy. A new sound joins the fight. A heavy, rhythmic thump, thump, thump RPG. Someone screams. A split second later, a rocket screams past our heads and blows up a tree right behind us, showering us with dirt and shrapnel. The screen shakes violently, and the audio is muffled for a few seconds. Everyone spread out. Find that RPG, Sarge commands. The fight just got a lot more dangerous. 1 RPG can wipe out a whole group of guys. Everyone frantically scans the jungle below, looking for the telltale backblast. I see him. Grid 180, by that large rock formation. Without a word, our grenadier lofts another round. It's a perfect shot. The explosion sends the RPG gunner flying. Another threat down, but it's a stark reminder of how fast things can go wrong. Alpha 6. This is 2-9er, Sarge reports, breathing heavy. We have suppressed the enemy and relieved Charlie Squad, but we are taking effective fire and have used a lot of ammo, requesting permission to pull back and rearm. Negative 2-9er, the commander replies. That's the cold reality of the situation. You need to press the advantage. Charlie Squad is moving on the objective. I need you to descend from that ridge and support their assault. Another squad is moving up with supplies. Rendezvous with them en route. There's no arguing. It's not about what's safe. It's about what wins the battle. Winning in this game is measured in tickets, which is basically your team's pool of lives. Every death costs a ticket. Capturing objectives, however, makes the enemy lose a ton of tickets. That's the real goal. You heard him, Sarge tells us. We're moving down the ridge. Stay in formation. Watch for ambushes. They know we're here now. We start sliding down the muddy slope. Being on the jungle floor is terrifying. Our high ground advantage is gone. Now we're on their level, in their territory. We move through the area of the firefight, the ground littered with the bodies of fallen NVA, a grim testament to our flank. But we see guys from Charlie Squad here too. It's a sobering reminder that every inch of ground is paid for. We link up with what's left of Charlie Squad. Resupplied and reinforced, we're ready for the final push. The village, Firebase Charlie, is just ahead, through a patch of rice. Paddies, open ground, a death trap. Crossing it will take perfect coordination. All right, Sarge says, addressing the combined group. Command wants that village. We're going to do it with fire and maneuver. 2-9er will provide a base of fire from this tree line. Charlie Squad, your assault element. You move when we start shooting. Use smoke. Let's go. Our machine gunner sets up his M60. I find a tree to brace against. Our role has flipped. Before, we were the assault team. Now we're the support. That's what makes this game so endlessly replayable. Ready? Sarge asks. A chorus of ready comes back. Open fire. Once again, the jungle just erupts. The combined violence of our squads is just overwhelming. 2 M60s, a dozen M16s, and 2 grenade launchers all open up at once on Firebase Charlie. The sound is a physical thing, a constant, deafening roar. We aren't just shooting at enemies. We're creating a curtain of lead, a wall of death to keep their heads down while our guys advance. Through the smoke and muzzle flashes, I can see Charlie Squad moving. They pop smoke grenades, and a white wall billows across the rice paddy, giving them a fragile shield. They move in short bursts, one team covering while the other sprints classic bounding overwatch. It's a textbook assault, pulled off by a bunch of random players who were strangers an hour ago. It's a beautiful, chaotic thing to see. The enemy fights back, of course. AK-47 rounds crackle through our tree line. A man next to me cries out and slumps over. Medic, left flank. Doc is already moving. The grim math of the battle continues. We trade lives for yards. They're in the first hoach. Someone from Charlie's squad reports, taking fire from the building on the right. Grenadier, you hear that? Right side hoach, Sarge directs. Our M79 gunner adjusts his aim, and a second later, the bamboo hut explodes in a ball of fire and splinters. The shooting from that spot stops. Slowly, methodically, Charlie Squad clears. The village, one building at a time. We can hear the sounds of close-quarters fighting shotguns, grenades, desperate shouts. Our job is to watch the jungle beyond, to stop any reinforcements from reaching the village. After what feels like forever, The call comes. Village is secure. Repeat, Firebase Charlie is secure. A wave of relief hits our squad. The firing dies down. The silence is almost as jarring as the noise. All right, 2-9er, move up, Sarge orders. Consolidate on the objective. Set up a defensive perimeter. They're going to try and take this back. We cross the now quiet rice paddy and enter the village. It's a wreck. Buildings are riddled with bullet holes. Some are still smoking. This is the price of one small piece of digital real estate. We find the survivors of Charlie's squad patching themselves up. There's a moment of unspoken respect. Good work, Charlie, Sarge says over the local voice chat. Couldn't have done it without that covering fire. Their squad leader replies with a nod. Drinks are on me when we get back. It's these little moments that make the community so great. People aren't just playing. They're part of a shared story. Now, the next phase begins. Defense. Taking a point is one thing. Holding it is another. Sarge is already organizing, designating fields of fire, positioning squads. 2-9er, take the west side. Charlie, you. Hold the east. I want MGs at these two corners. Everyone else, find cover and pick a sector. Dig in if you have a shovel. Some players pull out shovels and start digging foxholes, creating better cover from incoming fire. It's another strategic layer. A well-dug-in position is a nightmare to attack. The quiet gives us a moment to breathe. In just 30 minutes, we've gone from a tense patrol to a desperate defense. We've seen how critical communication is, how teamwork literally saves lives. The officer, the medic, the machine gunner, they aren't just different classes. They're vital parts of a machine. This feels more real than any scripted movie battle because it's driven by the choices of 100 real people. But the peace doesn't last. A new sound echoes through the jungle. Helicopter blades. But it's not the sound of our Hueys. It's heavier. Contact. Enemy helicopter. Inbound from the north. A voice screams over the radio. Everyone scrambles. An enemy transport could land an entire squad right on top of us. It's a game changer. Anti-air. Does anyone have an anti-air kit? Sarge yells. Powerful kits like AA launchers are a limited resource you have to grab from the supply crate. Not every squad has one. Negative, Sarge. No AA in this squad. Command, this is 2-9er. We have an enemy transport helo inbound on our position. We have no anti-air assets. Requesting air support. The response is not what we wanted. Solid copy, 2-9er. Air assets are busy elsewhere. You're on your own. Do what you can. We're exposed. The chopper gets louder, closer. We can see it now, a menacing shape breaking through the trees. Our rifles are useless against it. We fire anyway, a desperate act of defiance. The bullets spark harmlessly against its armor. This is it. This is how we lose the objective we just bled for. But then, a new voice cuts through the command channel. A pilot. Alpha 6, this is Ghost Rider 1-1. I'm in the area, and I see the enemy bird. I'm moving to engage. Going guns hot. From the west, an American Sky Raider dives out of the clouds. Its cannons wink, and a stream of high explosive. Shells tears into the enemy helicopter. The transport shudders, smoke pours from its engine, and it plunges into the jungle with a massive explosion. A huge cheer erupts from every player in the village. We were just saved by the skill of a single pilot in another squad who is in the SOAD. Right place at the right time. That's combined arms combat. Infantry, logistics, and air support all working together. It was a pure, unscripted, cinematic moment. The immediate threat is gone, but we know the main assault is still coming. The helicopter was just the overture. The final push is about to begin. We check our ammo, settle into our foxholes, and wait. The jungle is quiet again, but this time, it's the quiet before the storm. The counterattack comes not with a bang, but with a whisper. A single flicker of movement at the edge of the jungle. Contact, west side, 200 meters in the trees. The defense explodes to life. The machine guns, placed perfectly by Sarge, open up, their tracers converging on the contact point. The NVA is throwing everything they have at us in a massed infantry assault, trying to overwhelm us with sheer numbers. The battle for Firebase Charlie becomes a desperate siege. They come in waves, using smoke and suppressive fire to probe our lines for a weak point. Our defense is held together by communication. They're flanking south. Need more guns on the south side. Grenade. Get down. Man down, medic on me. The fighting is relentless. I'm almost out of ammo. I scavenge a few magazines from a fallen teammate, a feature that really drives home the desperation. Every bullet counts. You don't spray and pray. You take aimed, controlled shots. A wave of enemy soldiers breaks through a gap and gets inside the village. It becomes a chaotic, close-quarters brawl. I round the corner of a hut and come face to face with an NVA soldier. No time to aim. I fire from the hip. He goes down. My heart is hammering. Death can come in an instant. The battle is on a knife's edge. Our ticket count, our team's lives, is draining away. But so is theirs. It's a brutal race of attrition. Who's going to break first? Command, this is 2-9er. We are holding, but barely. We need reinforcements. Sarge pleads into the radio. They're coming, 2-9er. Just hold on. All squads are converging on your position. Hold the line. And then we hear it. Friendly footsteps, friendly voices, as 2 more squads pour into the village from the rear, filling the gaps in our line, their fresh ammo a beautiful sight. The tide turns. The enemy assault, which was so close to succeeding, now breaks. The surviving NVA soldiers melt back into the jungle. The firing dies down. A heavy silence falls over Firebase Charlie, broken only by calls for medics and the exhausted breathing of the defenders. We held. Against all odds, we held. A message flashes across the screen. The enemy team's tickets have hit 0. Victory, cheers, and congratulations flood the voice channels. There's a real sense of shared accomplishment, of relief and pride. We didn't just win a round in a video game. We survived an ordeal. We worked together, communicated, and overcame a determined enemy. This is the magic of Project Reality. It's so much more than a game. It's a platform for creating these incredible emergent stories. It proves that the most compelling experience doesn't come from a cutscene, but from the unscripted chaos of players trying to solve a complex problem together. Our trip through the digital jungles of Vietnam was brutal, tense, and unforgiving. But it was also rewarding in a way that few other games are. We didn't just play as soldiers. For an hour, we became a squad. We learned the value of a calm leader, a brave medic, and a perfectly placed machine gun. We felt the terror of an ambush and the pure thrill of a successful flank. We saw how one piece of information, one act of teamwork, can decide the fate of a 100-player battle. Project Reality might not have the graphics of a modern blockbuster, but it has something far more valuable: depth. It has a soul built by a community that believes in teamwork and realism. It gives you a small taste of the tactical reality of war, and in doing so, it creates one of the most intense and unforgettable experiences you can have in gaming. You don't just play the war. You live it, one firefight, one patrol, one desperate defense at a time. If you want to experience this for yourself, you can download Project Reality for free from the link in the description. It's a standalone game, so you don't need anything else. And if you enjoyed this trip into the heart of digital combat. Think about subscribing and letting me know in the comments what other battles you'd like to see.